good afternoon at the Supreme Court Registry, where the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC officials led by Chief Executive Officer Husein Marjan and Commissioner Molu Boya have just arrived with a bunch of election forms, Form 34A, 34B, and C, which forms part of the evidence to respond to the Azimio Coalition petition presented by Raila Odinga and his running mate, Mother Karua. Remember, it's not just that one petition. There are other 8 petitions. In total, we have 9 petitions. But for this day, the forms are crucial for IEBC to defend itself in the case against the Azimio presidential candidate, Raila Odinga, who claims the forms were manipulated given the claims he makes in his submissions or in his petition. And we have also seen the supporting affidavit to that petition by former permanent secretary in President Mwai Kibaki's government and anti-corruption campaigner John Githongo, saying or claiming there was a team which was mandated on the UDA side to doctor or manipulate the forms and then upload them to the IEBC public portal. It's something which will have to be verified and supported in court for the claims to be true or not. That is according to the affidavit filed by John Githongo, and therefore the presence of these forms this afternoon is very crucial as far as IEBC defense is concerned. They do need them because the forms, as you know, starting with Form 34A, 34B, and finally 34C, those forms are crucial as far as the evidence is concerned. And remember, according to the law or the minor KI decision of 2017, Form 34A forms the basis and its decision is final as far as the presidential election is concerned. Remember, before the election, the forms, the agents, the media, and the returning officer or the presiding officers at the polling station, they took photos, and the photos were sent to the returning officers and eventually the IEBC chairman of Chebukati for tallying. This is just the first step. Remember, after the main petition was filed on Monday, the respondents, that is IEBC, and also the deputy president and others in this case, they have 4 days to file their responses for this case to begin. And of course, we know after they file, the next step now is next week when we are going to have a pre-trial conference to set the stage for this hearing. It's a hearing which has to be fast-tracked given the tight timelines. A final decision is expected on the 5th of September. So there is no time. It's all about burning the midnight oil. And that's why IBC on their part, because they are the focus of this case on how they conducted this election, they will be scrutinized. If you look at the prayers of Azimio presidential candidate Raila Odinga, he is seeking scrutiny and access of all the KIMS kits and other important electronic data, which is important in his case. And in this case, he's trying to show the connection between how people voted and the outcome, the whole process. And therefore, the forms that have been brought here today are very crucial as far as that evidence is concerned. We are also waiting for the Kenya Kwanza team, legal team, which is headed by Professor Kithure Kindiki. We also have other lawyers in the team. More than 10 lawyers are in that team to also file their response to the Azimio petition, that is Odinga's petition and Karua's petition and the other petitions. So this is the crunch time. There's also the dilemma that has also been posed today during Azimio presidential candidate Raila Odinga in Mombasa. There's the dispute because in his petition, he says Chebukati, in his personal capacity, is incapable of managing another election, and therefore it presents the whole dilemma if the Supreme Court decides to make that decision and declare that there will be a rerun, then it's going to be problematic. And also there's the issue of Parliament. Parliament is yet to resume. You know, Parliament adjourned sin die. The President has to, announce for or call the first sitting of Parliament. And therefore, the issue of which IEBC commissioners will conduct the election is going to be another dilemma, another crisis. And therefore, the court is presented with all these issues, and therefore it has to navigate first, looking at the evidence, and then of course the evidence forms the primary concern and first attention of the court if it meets the threshold either to call for tallying of the votes or for a rerun. And therefore this is a dilemma because it has huge legal and political implications. And therefore, as we wait for IEBC lead lawyer to address us here on the way forward, it will be very interesting to see how this unfolds. The pictures you are watching on your screen are the election forms 34A, 34B, and C, which forms part of the crucial evidence by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission as part of its first line of defense to defend itself against the petition or the 7 petitions which were filed on Monday, castigating IEBC for the way it managed the election. It amounts to claims, if you delve deep into the petitions, that it bungled the poll on how it managed the process. Starting from the presidential nomination, we have one of the petitions by presidential aspirant Ruben Kigame, who has also brought a petition accusing Chebukati on the manner he handled his nomination papers. Then you have the other petitions casting or criticizing the whole process from the percentages, because this has been a major issue of the voter turnout and the percentage of the votes cast and the number of votes which were not tallied, the untallied votes, which forms majority, the basis of majority of the petition. So this is yet another moment for IEBC. The second time Chebukati is defending himself against Mr. Odinga, given what transpired in 2017, and what transpired is affecting or will affect and has implications on the decision the Supreme Court will make in this case, save for the evidence which is being presented now. You're watching live pictures from the Supreme Court temporary sitting from the Supreme Court Registry here at the Milimani Law Court, where IEBC about 20 minutes or so ago also came with loads of election forms which are being cleared, and to make sure they are in the right order as required by law here at the Supreme Court Registry before this process can commence officially next week with that crucial sitting of the pre-trial hearing setting the stage for this case. Looking at the petition, and especially the main petition, the man of the moment is, of course, IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati, who has a number of questions he is required to answer in court. And the first one is whether he did collude with President-elect William Ruto in manipulating the election results. Of course, we do expect IEBC to defend itself from that. Then there was the issue of the fallout in the commission. Remember, 4 of the commissioners disowned the results. They said they were kept in the dark. They never knew what happened in the last 2 days or in the final day before the results were declared. They were kept in the dark. They never knew what the chairman was doing, and therefore the results that he did read, and the results were 7.1 million votes for the President-elect William Ruto, 6.9 for the runners-up, Raila Odinga. Odinga, of course, in that petition is questioning is stating that whatever Chebukati said is his own decision, and it's not the decision of IEBC as it should be legally constituted. Then there was the issue of the 27 constituencies, majority of them in Odinga's stronghold. He says in his petition, and he is also supported by another petition by Okia Omtata, that if the results of those 27 constituencies were added to the final tally, then the outcome of the presidential election would have changed. Then, of course, there is also this whole issue about the mathematics. It has been an interesting debate, and still is, and it will come up in court in a number of petitions. There's the issue of the whole decimal percentage thing, saying if Chebukati did this or that, the outcome would have been different. And especially factoring the untallied votes. In one of the petitions I read, one by Okia Omtata, who is now Senator-elect for Busia, and one of the activists who is very popular along the corridors of justice, he did dispute, saying there were about more than 120,000 votes, which he says in his petition would have made a huge impact, and therefore the issue of the percentages put by the IEBC chairman between the voter turnout and the vote cast will be an issue of contestation before the 7-judge bench. And then, of course, you have the issue of the turnout in the strongholds, which they say was manipulated. It's also another issue that will play out as judges listen to the evidence that is going to be brought by all the parties. So it's an epic legal showdown here at the Milimani Law Court starting next week, the special sitting of the Supreme Court, as both sides fight for space, fight for justice, and justice depends on which side you lie. If it's for the Azimio side, justice means either the court orders a recount or of the votes. And here they are also arguing there were a number of spoiled votes and rejected votes. So the court should consider and should be brought by IEBC. If you are on the other side of Kenya Kwanza and a supporter of the president-elect, this was the most open election. The servers were accessible to all the form that 4As that were being uploaded could be accessed by all. And people, even the media, although the media did not conclusively do the tallying, there were, of course, the provisional results that showed the the president-elect won according to those tallies. So depending on which side of the political divide you stand, justice means different things. Then you have the court. This is the court has a final say, the final arbiter. We have seen Odinga's running mate, Mother Karua, say whatever decision the court comes up with, they will accept. Then there is a political question on how the political leaders themselves accept this and take this forward. How does it play with their supporters if it goes either way, supporters across the divide? So it's this whole matrix playing out that the court, as recognized by law and as mandated by the Constitution, has a final say on this election petition, and the final decision will be known, fate will be sealed on the 5th of September, which is early next month. You're watching live pictures from the Supreme Court Registry, where the IEBC, led by Chief Executive Officer Husein Marjan and Commissioner Molu Boya, are here to present part of the evidence, which is the election forms that 4A, B, and C. How long? Okay.
Akitoa ushukuru Mungu. Kama hizo
You're watching live coverage of the proceedings here at the Milimani Law Courts, where the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has brought a collection of documents we are meant to understand election forms 34A, B, and C, which forms the basis of the evidence. Now, let's look at this case, because this is a very titanic case, given the legal composition of the lawyers involved in this case. It's a do-or-die contest, an epic showdown that the kind, or the last kind of it we saw was back in 2017. But this one, the stakes are high. For example, looking at the Azimio legal team, it has about 45 lawyers, and they have their legal consulting team. If you look at IEBC, which is presenting its documents today, the legal team is led by a lawyer, and not just a lawyer, a senior counsel of great standing, former Attorney General Professor Gido Muigai, who is heading that legal team. And then, of course, the notable teams we saw for IEBC way back in 2017 are also part of this crucial petition, this case. Then, moving on, you also have Kenya Kwanza. We have Professor Kithure Kindiki, another great lawyer who represented Deputy President-elect William Ruto back then at the ICC. He was very instrumental in his case. He has a wealth of experience. If you look at Friend Gatia, he has been in these petitions as far as I can remember. He was there in 2013, he was there in 2017, and he is here now. So this is a combination of the best legal minds the country can offer. And it shows you the stakes that are here. First, if you look at IEBC, the chairman of Chebukati, who is exiting office, he wants to exit office honorably as a man whose integrity, according to the annals of history, will be way up high. So when such things arise, issues questioning his integrity, how he handled this election, all the claims that he bungled this election come up. Therefore, it's of concern to him, and therefore he has to defend not just his integrity, but that of the commission in the manner it handled this election. And this election, according to observers, both internationally, locally, they've given this election, as far as starting with Kenyans, the way they conducted themselves, a green light, given the peace that prevailed, given how the process was conducted until the last minute when issues came up. Politically, you have the Azimio presidential candidate, Raila Odinga. This is very dear to him. This is very dear to him. So let's hear what the legal team is about to say.
All the requirement that we are required to submit, that is copies of all forms, certified copies of all Form S, that is Form 34S, and certified copies of Form 34B, and certified copy of Form 34C, and Form 34D. Those are the things we have submitted, and officially received by court. Now it is in court custody. So we are done with our obligation of submitting those election materials to the court as per the court rules and regulations.
Any electronic device that were used? Hard drives.
All those forms are also submitted in electronic format.
And in terms of the KIMS kit, the details, the portal, the IP, the address, have you submitted all that?
Those are not things required at this stage. If court make an order to submit, the commission is ready to submit any information that court would require to submit.
Yes, you've submitted all the documents. Are you satisfied with the process that the IEBC conducted and the results that were announced by the chairperson?
We are very, very satisfied. Election is a very regulated process. We have followed the election law to the letter. We are very confident that there is no any violation of any procedures, rules or regulation. But that is why we have court. It is court to determine.
When will the commission officially file its responses over the 9 petitions?
There is time in the court regulation. Maybe I'll ask Lawyer Wambua, what is the timeline for?
We have been given until the 26th of August, 27th of August to file all responses.
That's on Saturday.
Lastly, Bwana Commissioner, the division that we are seeing from the IEBC commissioners, what would you like to say about it? Because 4 distance themselves from the results that was announced. The 4 are also respondents to this case, including yourself.
I think now we are here for submission of election material. We'll leave it at that. The other matters we can discuss in another forum.
CEO, maybe can you say a word on that? A number of you have been mentioned as respondents. Individually, I don't know whether individual in your own capacity or the position of the IEBC. Can you clarify on that?
We shall discuss that when we are making our submissions. Now, we are only bringing the election materials as per the court requirement, and we have done that. So I think we want to leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Can we hear from the CEO, please?
No, I think the commission is, Commissioner Molu is representing us, and whatever is said basically is the commission's position. So I want to leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. That was IEBC.
Bila shaka ni picha mubashara kutoka mahakama ya upeo. Bila shaka tumeweza kupata kwamba ujumbe ni kwamba labda tume ya IEBC imeweza kupeleka yale majibu yao kuhusiana na uchaguzi uliofanyika mnamo tarehe 9 Agosti. Na bila shaka tumeweza kupata kwamba labda shughuli hiyo ya kuhakikisha kwamba majibu yote yameweza kuwasilishwa katika mahakama ya upeo itaweza kukamilika mnamo tarehe 27 Agosti mwaka huu. Hivyo basi ni taarifa ambazo tutazidi kufuatilia kwa undani zaidi ili tuweze kujua hatamu itakuwa ipi na vile vile tamati ya masuala haya. Kumbuka kinara wa Azimio Raila Odinga aliweza kupinga matokeo na kuweza kuelekea mahakamani. Hivyo basi tungali tunasubiria tuweze tu kujua hatima ama labda tuseme uamuzi ambao utaweza kutolewa na mahakama ya upeo itakuwa ipi. Ila kwa sasa wacha niweze kuaga. Jina langu ni Beatrice Watare. Uwe na siku njema, nazidi kufurahia TV47.